What if everything you've ever danced to, every drop, every beat, every festival, was never random? What if the music you love was controlled by someone or something hidden, unseen, and untouchable? Tonight you're about to step behind the neon curtain. You're about to hear the rhythm that the world doesn't know exists, a pulse beneath the pulse, a code buried in the sound. And at the center is one name, Armin from Amsterdam. What he's about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about electronic music. Armin was just another name in Amsterdam's underground electronic scene. He played in small clubs, late nights, neon reflections on wet streets. Every beat, every kick, every hi-hat was familiar, yet tonight something felt different. When he dropped his new track, he heard a hidden pattern, something between the notes, something not meant to be heard. He rewound, replayed, slowed it down. The pattern persisted, too deliberate to be an accident. A faint digital pulse hid inside the bassline, almost imperceptible. Armin realized this was a signal. Coordinates, time stamps, something encoded. It wasn't just music, it was a map, pointing somewhere outside the city, somewhere he wasn't supposed to go. Armin followed the signal through Amsterdam's rainy streets, down alleys bathed in neon reflections. The coordinates led him to an abandoned warehouse near the docks. Inside, massive speakers throbbed with silent frequencies only his mind seemed to hear. At the center, an old modular synth glowing faintly, and a single note typed on a screen. You heard. You are ready. The synth powered on by itself, lights pulsing to a rhythm Armin couldn't resist. Then a voice, low and calm, spoke directly into his thoughts. You've been listening your whole life, even before you realized. All electronic music, all trends, all DJs controlled. Armin froze. The room, the synth, the bass, they weren't just instruments, they were a system he was about to inherit. The screen flickered. Global festival maps appeared. Berlin, Ibiza, Tokyo, LA, all the major clubs pulsing in sync. Each festival, each DJ, each track was linked to one invisible source. They all work for me, the voice said. They don't know. The world doesn't know. But now you do. Armin felt a strange thrill, part fear, part euphoria, like he'd just uncovered the hidden network of global club music. The voice continued. Electronic music isn't sound, it's a language. Rhythm controls emotion. Frequency guides thought. Repetition shapes attention. Millions of people, unaware, dancing in unison. And the architect of this system, you've always been part of it. You just forgot. Armin stared at the glowing synth, heartbeat syncing to a bassline he hadn't even consciously played. Then came the twist. The screen showed a photo of him, but from years ago, younger, naive, oblivious. You are already the architect, the voice said. The system has been growing around you, learning, waiting. Every track you thought you made freely was predicted. Every festival, every crowd, every drop in sync with a plan you cannot yet fully comprehend. Armin's hands hovered over the keys, almost moving by themselves. The voice whispered, the system isn't dependent on you, but it needs you. Someone is trying to hack it, to twist it into something dangerous. And you, only you can prevent it. You must either embrace it or watch the rhythm collapse. Sweat dripped down his face, not from fear, but from sheer awe at the secret he'd uncovered. The synth pulsed faster, lights strobing in perfect sync with his heartbeat. Every festival, every DJ, every global club set was part of a living, breathing system, and now he could see it. The music wasn't random. It was a map of collective human emotion, manipulated, guided, predicted. And the realization hit him. The architect of electronic music wasn't a man. It was him. In multiple timelines, multiple versions. Armin stared at the screen. The map of the world pulsed in neon like a heartbeat. Every festival, every DJ, every underground rave he had ever attended was part of the system. And then he noticed something. The system was alive. It wasn't just software. It reacted, adapted, anticipated. It knew him. It knew everyone. and now it was waiting for his decision. A message appeared. Do you accept? The synth's modular lights blinked in sync with his heartbeat. Armin's fingers trembled over the keys. He realized that rejecting it wasn't an option. The system had already scanned his mind, predicted his doubts, and integrated them into its next beat. Every choice he could make had been foreseen. He was already part of the network. Then came a visual, a timeline of electronic music history. From early acid house in Amsterdam to Berlin's underground techno to Ibiza mega clubs. Each line was connected, forming a lattice of sound, emotion, and human attention. And at the center of it all, glowing faintly, his own consciousness, inserted before he even knew who he was. The architect wasn't a single person. It was him, across time. Armin felt his mind stretch. He could almost hear it, the millions of hearts, all synchronized to frequencies he hadn't consciously created. Every drop, every bass line, every vocal sample was part of a secret code, a pattern the world didn't know existed. The voice whispered, "You are both observer and participant. The music listens, the music remembers, and now it's ready to teach you everything." Suddenly, the warehouse lights dimmed completely. The synth's glow became the only illumination. Armin reached out, touching the keys. As he did, the frequencies merged with his thoughts. Images, sounds, crowds, waves of energy. He saw them all at once. And then the system touched a track, before he ever did, before he even knew what electronic music truly meant. Then came the warning. A red pulse spread across the map. Someone else was online. Another consciousness trying to interfere with the system. "They don't know what they're doing," the voice said. "They could collapse the network. You must either embrace your role fully or risk a global distortion of emotion, a breakdown of rhythm itself." Armin's hands hovered above the synth. His heartbeat synced with the pulse of the hidden world of music. He pressed a key. The warehouse vibrated. Neon reflections from the synth wrapped around him like a cocoon. And then the system whispered something only he could hear. "You are not just Armin. You are the sum of every choice. Every beat, every euphoria ever orchestrated in the world. And now you can consciously continue it." A shiver ran down his spine, not fear, but sheer mind-expanding awe. Armin's vision blurred with sound. Each note triggered memories he didn't know he had. Crowds cheering, late-night studio sessions, festival euphoria, underground raves in Amsterdam's hidden basements. Every memory was a thread. Every beat was a path. And suddenly he realized he could see the future of every track, every crowd, every festival before it even happened. Finally, the synth stilled. The screen showed only 2 words, "Choose wisely." Armin's chest heaved. He understood fully now. This wasn't a game. This wasn't a story. This was the secret foundation of the global electronic music scene, hidden from everyone, invisible, untouchable. And the system waited, patient, glowing, alive. His decision about what the music should become next would ripple across the world. Armin sat frozen, hands hovering over the synth. The system pulsed softly, as if breathing. The global map flickered with neon lights, clubs, festivals, underground raves, all alive, all reacting. Every human moving to a beat, unknowingly part of a hidden network of emotion and energy, choreographed with precision. The realization hit. This wasn't music. This was a secret algorithm of human euphoria. Then the system revealed another layer, small obscure clubs, hidden in basements from Tokyo to Berlin. Tiny studios in Amsterdam, all glowing faintly on the map. Even the unnoticed ones contribute, the voice said. Every pulse, every drop, every whisper of sound feeds the architecture. Armin felt his mind expand, understanding the invisible skeleton of electronic music worldwide. A sudden alert flashed, intrusion detected. Another consciousness had accessed the system, a hacker, a rival DJ. The map pulsed red in a cluster around Ibiza. "They're trying to predict, manipulate, control," the voice whispered. "They don't know the rules. They don't know the code." Armin realized the stakes. This was not just music. It was a battlefield of perception and emotion. The synth vibrated. The bassline became a language. Armin could feel it in his chest. The network was alive, aware, and communicating. Every modulation, every filter sweep was a thread of intelligence, and he could read it. He could understand the flow of human euphoria like reading a script. And now he was invited to direct it consciously, to take the role he had always held unknowingly. The screen flickered to a recording from decades ago. A younger Armin stood behind a synth, unaware of the system, yet already imprinting patterns into it. The voice explained, "You've always existed in the architecture. Every mix, every track, every set was encoded into the network before it even left your mind." Armin felt a shiver, not fear, but pure, exhilarating revelation. He was both creator and product of the system. Then a new insight appeared. "You are not alone," the voice said. "Across time, versions of you exist, each learning, each shaping the network. They remember what you forgot. They are waiting. You are the current iteration, the conscious node in a multi-timeline orchestration of electronic sound." Armin's mind swirled. He was the ultimate DJ, controlling not only the music, but the emotional flow of humanity itself. Armin's heart synced with the rhythm of the warehouse. The synth pulsed as if alive. The red intrusion alert still glowed. The hacker's identity appeared briefly, an echo of himself. Slightly altered Armin version 2. "They are trying to claim what is yours by right of pattern," the voice explained. "Only you can stabilize the network, harmonize the frequencies, maintain the invisible balance of emotion and sound." The synth keys seemed to press themselves. Armin felt the euphoria of thousands of crowds, millions of hearts, all pulsing in sync. He realized this was not just a DJ set, it was reality itself, choreographed through sound. And the twist, the hacker version wasn't malicious. It was another version of him seeking the same truth, testing his awareness, challenging his control. Armin's fingers finally touched the synth. Each note he played resonated globally. The system adjusted instantly, predicting every human reaction. The warehouse became a portal of pulsating neon, and he could see the collective unconscious of festival-goers, nightclubs, and underground parties. The voice whispered, "The music sees you as you are. And now you can see the music as it truly is." The warehouse hummed like a living organism. Armin version 2 appeared on the screen, identical yet subtly different. "You finally arrived," it said. "I've been waiting. The network recognizes only one conscious architect at a time. If we clash, the system destabilizes. If we align, it becomes unstoppable." Armin realized he was staring at himself from another timeline, a version that had already mastered part of the network. Suddenly, the map of global festivals pulsed violently. Colors flickered red, neon green, violet like electricity dancing over oceans and cities. Every club in Amsterdam, Ibiza, Berlin, Tokyo, and Leh responded instantly to even the smallest thought Armin had. "This is not a game," the voice whispered. "This is the hidden infrastructure of global emotion. One wrong decision, and you could crash millions of hearts at once." Armin's head spun. Each note he imagined created a wave of collective euphoria, yet the red intrusion warning still pulsed. Version 2 moved differently. Its fingers danced virtually across an invisible synth, echoing Armin's subconscious. "We are the same," the voice said, yet separated by choice. "Only by merging awareness can the network stabilize. The system itself is alive, and it trusts only you both to preserve it." Then came the revelation. Armin could feel every crowd simultaneously. The pulse of Ibiza, the underground techno of Berlin, the warehouse sets in Amsterdam, they all synchronized into a single rhythm. Every heart, every hand, moving with invisible precision. And in that moment he understood the music wasn't entertainment. It was the backbone of unseen collective consciousness, encoded in bass and synth. Version 2 spoke again. "The secret they never told you. Every beat you ever dropped, every track you ever mixed, contributed to the system before you consciously knew it. Millions of people danced to a blueprint of your own subconscious. You are both creator and created. Do you see why this is the most secret information in human history? Armin shivered, not fear, but pure euphoria from understanding the truth. Suddenly, the synth glowed brighter. Frequencies Armin couldn't consciously hear filled the room. He felt a connection not just to the crowds, but to the collective memory of electronic music itself. Every acid house drop, every techno build, every trance climax he had ever heard or played was now transparent in his mind. This, the voice said softly, is the architecture of human emotion through sound. And now you are part of it consciously. The red intrusion warning became a swirling vortex. Version 2 smiled. Do you feel it? This is the ultimate test. Another consciousness is trying to manipulate the network. Not a hacker, not an outsider, another Armin from a divergent timeline, one who forgot the system's rules. If we fail, the beats themselves will fragment, and the flow of collective emotion will collapse. Armin's pulse synced with the global rhythm. End was alive, watching, and testing him. Armin's hands hovered over the synth. The warehouse lights dimmed. He could feel the bassline as though it were in his chest. Then he pressed a single key. The red vortex stilled and the network synchronized instantly. Version 2's eyes widened. You did it. You harmonized the timelines. You are now the conscious architect. Armin realized something astonishing. He could preview the emotional outcome of every set, every festival, every drop, before it happened. The voice whispered one last time. Now you understand the secret they never wanted revealed. No one should know that global electronic music is a living system, that every heartbeat on a dance floor is mapped and predicted. Yet here you are. You have seen it. You have felt it. And only you, Armin of Amsterdam, can consciously guide it without breaking it. The glow of the synth was hypnotic, almost divine, as if the music itself was alive and acknowledging him. Armin leaned back, overwhelmed. He could see the network past, present, and future sets intertwined. The red intrusion was gone, replaced by pulsing neon blue, stability. Version 2 faded from the screen, leaving only the message. The network is yours. Protect it, guide it, and remember, every track, every crowd, every emotion is part of the secret you now hold. The warehouse was silent except for the hum of the synth, yet Armin felt euphoria unlike anything he had ever experienced. He wasn't just a DJ anymore. He was the guardian of hidden human emotion, the conscious architect of the unseen rhythm of the world. So now you know. Or at least you know a little more than you did before. Some say electronic music is just sound, just beats, just people dancing in dark clubs under neon lights. But now you've heard the story, the hidden signals, the invisible rhythm connecting cities, crowds, and emotions. And the truth is, this story is only the beginning. There are still secrets inside the music, signals hidden between the beats, stories that haven't been told yet. So if you want to hear the next ones, if you want to keep exploring the pulse beneath the pulse, follow the channel and stay tuned, because the next signal could arrive at any moment.